Hi guys, welcome back to the Click Chick podcast. It's me, your host, McKenna, owner of 1828 Collective, which is a wedding photography business, and host of the podcast. Today I'm here with my sister, Leah. Hi, Leah.
Hi.
She got married last July, so she knows all the ins and outs of wedding drama and chaos. I honestly think your wedding day was really great, other than your bouquet kind of wilting because we left it out of the water for hours and hours and hours.
And it was July. And I think it was like 97 degrees on our wedding day.
Yeah, it was really hot. But you did a late afternoon wedding,
but
golden
I
hour
think
wedding.
With like the pictures and everything though.
Yeah.
We were all cooking for a pretty long time.
Well, today's episode, we're going to do an awkward dynamics episode, not because you know anything about being awkward, but just because it's entertaining.
It's just fun.
So if you're ready, let's jump into the first story.
Let's go.
All right. Am I the asshole for refusing to help my best friend with her wedding because she didn't make me a bridesmaid? My best friend, 24 female, we'll call her May, and I, 24 female, have been close friends since middle school. We've talked about being in each other's weddings, so when she got engaged last year, I assumed I would be a bridesmaid. She recently asked me to help with the wedding planning, but when she showed me the list for her bridal party, I wasn't on the list. I asked why, and she got awkward and said she had to make some choices. The party included her sister, her fiance's sister, and a few newer friends she's known for a couple of years. She wanted a small party. I didn't want it to be a big deal, though. I congratulated her, and I figured I would still be a guest. But then she started asking me for a lot of help. Things like dress shopping, DIY decor, venue hunting, making party favors, etc., etc. I finally told her, hey, I love you, but I feel weird doing all of this when I'm not even a bridesmaid. She got angry and said that she thought I'd still want to be involved because we're best friends. I told her I would still be at the wedding, but I wasn't going to do all of the extra work when she didn't even consider me close enough to be at her bridal party. Now she and some of our mutual friends are giving me the cold shoulder, saying I'm being petty and making the wedding about me. But I'm not going to be doing bridesmaid level work if I'm not one. So, am I the asshole? I wonder why she doesn't want her to be in the wedding party.
I think the weird thing is she said they've been friends since middle school, but she had newer friends as bridesmaids.
Do you think it's an aesthetic thing? Like, you know how some brides are weird and they want everyone to be between a size
picture perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because why wouldn't she be in the wedding party, but now she's doing everything?
I think that part's weird.
Yeah.
Don't ask someone for that many favors, you know?
Did you have a hard time when you were picking bridesmaids, like feeling like you excluded anybody?
Not really. We had a pretty small, I think we had 5 bridesmaids and 5 groomsmen, which I don't know if I think that's pretty normal.
It's a little small. Yeah.
But since we have 2 sisters and then my husband has a sister, that took up most of the bridal party.
True.
And then I had 2 of my friends. So I didn't really feel like I was hurting any feelings or anything, but it wasn't really that hard for me.
Yeah. Right, because you didn't have a ton.
I think if anything, it made it easier having so many siblings. Because I was like, oh, that's pretty much all of my wedding party, to figure out anyway. So
you're like,
I don't know.
Yeah, so you don't feel like you excluded anybody because y'all stuck with 5 and 5. Yeah. Would you help if you weren't a bridesmaid? Like if one of your friends who was getting married asked you to do DIY projects with them, would you help them?
I probably would, especially if it was a middle school friend and then you're getting married probably in your 20s. That's knowing someone for a long time. So I probably would help. But
would you be mad?
I think I would be closeted angry. I don't think I would. I'm not confrontational, so I don't think I would have vocalized that I was upset about it. I think I just would have done it and been like, maybe this is a little weird. I don't know.
Well, because is she not going to go on the bachelorette party but then help plan the bachelorette?
Probably.
Because that's what it sounds like. She's helping with all of these things. So is it going to be
that's
everyone's
selfish.
Going to Cabo.
Yeah.
Help me plan the itinerary, but you're not invited?
It's like she's trying to involve her, but still not have any strings attached to it.
Yeah.
I don't know. It is weird.
It would hurt my feelings for sure. Honestly, though, like maybe a hot take, but I don't think I would be that upset because like I was in your wedding as your maid of honor, but I'm not necessarily like ecstatic about if somebody were to ask me to be a bridesmaid and be
it's
like,
a lot of
we're
work.
going to this out of the country bachelorette party and then these showers and you have to do all of them. Like, it gets so expensive. I'm like, I want to celebrate you, but
I feel like we made it really easy for all of our bridesmaids because most of them don't even live here.
Yeah.
So I feel like I didn't do a wedding shower.
Mm-hmm.
We did a really nonchalant bachelorette party.
Yeah. What do we call it? Girls Gone Wild?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was pretty chill, but I was thinking about that too. Also, a lot of my bridal party were like early 20s. I think my sister-in-law was 18. So I'm like, I'm not making people go out of their way and like spend a bunch of money.
Yeah, because we had talked about even like Charleston or something, but you thought that even was
because when people live in different states, it's kind of hard to like coordinate all of that.
Yeah. But like, I don't know, me expecting people, I don't like asking a lot of people. Mm-hmm. So expecting people to all travel, like I said, like, oh, we're going to Cabo and you have to.
But if you have multiple things like a wedding shower, the bridal or the bachelorette party. Yeah. It's just a lot of events.
Yeah. And you're still expected to buy something off the registry. Yeah. My gift to Leah was wedding photography. So
which was a great gift. So no complaints there.
No, Haley did amazing as covering for me. So is she the asshole for not wanting to help? I think the way she brought it up was really kind too. Just being like, hey, love you, but this is weird. So I think because of the way she approached it, like it doesn't sound like she blew up or caused any drama.
No, I don't think she's in the wrong.
Yeah, I don't think she's in the wrong at all. I would definitely feel something about that whole thing. So am I the asshole? Not in my opinion. We agree. On to the next story. Am I the asshole for giving my wedding guests a dress code? I, female 29, am getting married to my partner, male 30. And we have planned a fantasy Renaissance themed wedding. We are massive fandom nerds, books, video games, movies, comics, etc., and actually met at a Ren fair and wanted that to be a part of our wedding. We discussed it with our close friends and everyone thought it was a great idea. So we sent out the invitations plus an attached letter that explained why we wanted to have a themed wedding and examples of the types of things we wanted people to wear. Just Google Ren fair if you want to see. We included photos, descriptions, budget categories that went from how to DIY a costume using old thrifted clothes to just straight out buying something online. We also asked people to reach out if they had any worries so we could work something out. I have received a few messages from my closer friends saying they've heard other people, including some me and my partner's family members, calling me a bridezilla, saying we are being unreasonable, that this is ridiculous, that they don't want to go if I'm going to get all up in arms over clothing. My soon-to-be mother-in-law and sister-in-law are especially pissed. I reached out to them after their names were mentioned, and they said I'm ruining what is supposed to be a happy day by demanding people dress up like idiots. They said everyone should be allowed to dress in what makes them feel comfortable, and I'm being very controlling. My partner says not to listen to them, but there are so many people saying it. I'm feeling pretty hurt by all of this. I assumed people would react like this if I said everyone needed to go out and spend hundreds on costumes, but we went out of our way to include pictures and suggest a very low budget option if needed. I honestly didn't think it was a big deal, but now I'm having second thoughts about the whole themed wedding idea. So, am I the asshole? Well, it's kind of sad.
I don't think she is.
Yeah, like she's excited. It's just a theme. I don't know.
I think it's considerate of her that they're giving options and saying like, oh, you could thrift this or you can make it yourself.
I don't feel like I've never been to a Renaissance fair.
I haven't either.
I don't think so.
I know it's a lot of like, it's a little bit more extravagant and it's probably not stuff that everyone has.
But I feel like you could just wear a simple dress with an Amazon corset over it and like that counts.
And also she's the bride. So
yeah. It's not like they're asking you to dress up as like Shrek and Fiona.
No.
And, like,
I don't think that's that weird.
I actually saw a TikTok that was like, what if Shrek and Fiona like themed wedding, like had a wedding?
Mm-hmm.
And it was like really well done with all the inspo images they pulled
Like
for
not
it.
tacky.
It was like very whimsical forest greens.
Yeah.
Like it was, yeah. I'm like, okay, I would have a Shrek themed wedding if it looked like
but like
that.
it's your wedding. You kind of call the shots.
Yeah. Not that they're doing a Shrek themed wedding.
Well, no,
Renaissance,
no.
but yeah.
It's very different. But still, I don't know. I don't think that's not that weird.
Like it is an ask for sure,
Yeah.
because most people going to a wedding,
They're going to wear something like they already have.
yeah. And like I know the Renaissance community is very intense, I think
Mhm.
maybe is a good word. Like they're very like into their costumes, and there's a lot of traditions that happen at these events. I don't know. I kind of want to go, but I'm intimidated. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Like I think it'd be really fun, but I get weird going into environments where I have like zero expectation.
You have no idea what to expect.
Yeah, I'm like, how am I supposed to act? Because it gets like a little there's some kinky things I've seen.
Really?
Like, yeah, like more
At the Renaissance
tones.
Festival?
Yeah, like more tones. So like there was this booth I saw on TikTok that was like sausages, like brats or whatever, but then they feed it to you, and it was just, it felt inappropriate.
Yeah, that's a little weird.
Yeah. So anyway, that's the stuff that makes me intimidated, because I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, wholesome. And I'm sure most of it is wholesome, but they're a little freaked out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, all to say, this wedding probably isn't freaked out. I would be excited. I like dressing up for
Yeah.
things. I love a themed event. Thank you, Amazon,
I also
for easy
think
returns.
It's how much time you give people to sort it out. I guess she didn't give like, I mean, I don't know if she gave like a time frame, but if that's something you spring on people like 6 weeks before your wedding, maybe people would kind of freak out.
It's
or
true.
feel like, oh, we don't have enough time to get this sorted out. But like, if you give ample time, I don't think that's that weird.
I wonder if the mother-in-law is a little insecure.
The mother-in-law and
And
was
the
it
sister-in-law. Yeah. Mother-in-law and sister-in-law. Yeah. I wonder if they take themselves too seriously. So
They
the
don't wanna
idea
look
of a
silly.
costume. Yeah, like they're very used to
Well, maybe
wearing
they
their
are
clothes.
thinking of it as a costume.
Yeah.
And thinking like, this is tacky. Like, this isn't a Halloween party. It's a wedding.
Right. And it is a costume, but
Yeah.
so what? It's
if
their
that's-
wedding.
Yeah.
Like if that
If
brings you
that's
joy.
what the bride wants, then I
Yeah.
don't know. I don't really see any problem.
Like I'm sure it would be a fun party. Would you uninvite the mother-in-law and sister-in-law for talking trash?
No.
Yeah.
I feel like you got to keep the peace.
You have always been a peacekeeper.
Yeah. I know it's not one of my best traits at times, but
It
I
can
don't
be
know.
good though. It's not always bad. But
I wouldn't uninvite anyone from. But then if it's that big of a deal, then if someone doesn't want to come to the wedding because they don't want to abide to the dress code, then that's on them.
right, like just throw on a black dress. It's not that
Or
serious.
don't come.
Or don't come.
If it's that big of a deal to you.
Yeah. I don't know. If they're your friends and close to you, they're probably on board. So I feel
Mhm.
like 85% of the guests are like, "Oh, fine. Like this is cute." And it's their wedding day, so I think they need to get over it. Are
Yeah.
they the asshole for giving their wedding guests a dress code?
No.
No. And a lot of people give dress codes these days, like at least for a color palette.
We
like
had
they
one.
send that. Yeah. Right. Like there's like the general dress code where it's
Yeah.
like, oh, dressy formal. I don't know the terms,
Yeah.
business dressy. I
Or
don't
black
know.
tie.
Black tie. Thank you. Let's jump to
Business dressy.
I don't know why I'm stuck on this. Let's go black tie as the example. Cocktail hour attire.
Yeah. But
Um,
is it that different?
Well, so now people are giving like a color palette. So they'll
Mhm.
attach like 4 or 5 colors on like
I have seen that.
with the RSVP card. It's kind of like that. And they'll be like, oh, these are the colors we encourage you to
Mhm.
dress in. And that way no one's auntie shows up in a bright red dress and stands out in all of the photos. It's always funny to me actually whenever someone shows up in like bright pink or bright red, or
Mhm.
they always sit center of
They want the
aisle.
attention.
So like they're in the photos. They'll be like
Mhm.
in this like absolute yellow color. And yeah, they always want to sit like at the very edge. I'm like, did you know you were going to be in all of these photos? Like, did you plan this?
I've seen a couple weddings where they ask people to wear all black, and I think it actually looks really classy.
I do too. Some people have problems with black because it's like funeral colors
Mhm.
also, but I like it. Yeah, because then the bride's
It just
the only
looks,
one in white.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it looks like really put together.
Yeah, I like the classy look. I like the
Mhm.
like black bridesmaid dresses and all of
Mhm.
that too. Yeah. Really, really classy. Anyway, ready for the next story?
Mm-hmm.
Would I be the asshole for not letting guests into our wedding who don't RSVP or weren't invited? So I've done my fair share of banquet serving, including quite a few weddings. I've noticed that at nearly all of them, extra guests show up on the day of the wedding. A couple friends of mine have had the same thing happen to them. People who don't RSVP, haven't been invited at all, show up to the ceremony and reception, and then the bride and groom have to pay extra for them when it's all said and done. Our wedding is coming up soon, and after the initial RSVP deadline passed, there were still about 30 guests who never responded at all, even after some members of our wedding party followed up with them. My fiance and I wanted to come up with a way to try to mitigate having to pay extra for people who still may show up anyway. Our venue recommended we have assigned tables and escort cards at a check-in table and give a list of guests to the people manning the table so they can see if non-RSVP'd guests show up. We liked the idea, but decided to modify it a little. If someone shows up who is not on the list or doesn't have an escort card, they won't be able to take a seat unless someone who did RSVP doesn't show up. We figure we've already paid for the seat count by that point, so we might as well fill the seats if a few people are missing. We sent out the invitations 3 months before the RSVP deadline and gave guests the option to mail their cards or RSVP online. I've even had some people text me and tell me they're coming, which is totally cool with me. I've put them down as a yes. I feel like 3 months is more than enough time to RSVP to an event. I didn't think anything of it until I was telling one of our guests, who was already attending, about our plan, and she told me it was rude of me to not let people in who want to celebrate with us. I was a bit surprised at this response since everyone else we've told about it has been supportive. I told her it was rude of others to expect us to pay potentially thousands of extra dollars when they can't be adults and respond in a timely manner. We're spending a lot of money per person to host this wedding, which is our choice, but I was always taught that it's really tacky to show up to someone's celebration either uninvited or without RSVPing, and I expect them to pay for it after the fact. So, would I be the asshole for not letting anyone who wants to show up that day into my wedding to celebrate with us?
This shouldn't even be a question.
Okay, so like the fact that she's putting so much thought into this is weird, right?
Yeah. This should be a no-brainer.
Like she's hung up on.
I feel like...
Yeah, tell me your thoughts.
Okay, so for our wedding, we spent probably weeks thinking of the seating chart. And our wedding venue was not big. So I feel like we were kind of like pressed for space. If people showed up that didn't RSVP or weren't even invited, I would have been so pissed. And
really?
Yes, because we also had to pay per place setting.
Right.
So if people extra people were just showing up, we would have had to pay more for those people to be there. But also, it's not even the people that don't RSVP. People that aren't invited, that's what's wild.
That would be crazy.
She shouldn't have to worry about people that are not invited coming to the wedding.
Yeah.
That's
why
weird.
is she? I'm just, and you just got married, so your opinion is heavier than mine because I don't really know. But is she not thinking too much about this right now? Yeah. Like, this is a lot of thought into, but maybe it is more of an issue than I realize because I'm not on that end when it comes to weddings. Like, I don't see what happens with catering and extra people. I know the wedding I did yesterday, they had to add a seat in last minute.
Okay, maybe
that was one chair.
One chair is fine.
Yeah.
I don't know how many people that she's expecting to come to the wedding that aren't invited.
That's what I'm saying.
But
are you expecting like 12 people to roll up? Like a whole extra
But I will say
table?
at our wedding, that would have thrown things off.
You know, it would be awkward.
Because then it's like, oh, we weren't expecting you. Like, let's just squeeze you in somewhere. I don't know. I think
you know what?
I think it's weird.
You're convincing me. Yeah.
I saw something, I think it was on Instagram recently, and it was a bride talking about how her mother-in-law made a separate guest list of people that she invited to the wedding, and she didn't tell her son and daughter-in-law that she was inviting all these people. So she literally made a separate guest list. Because I guess maybe they didn't want like distant relatives or like some of her mom's friends to show up.
How did that play out? Did she just invite them without telling them and they showed up and didn't have anywhere to sit? Oh, yeah, that's really tacky. I don't like that at all.
But no, I don't think she's in the wrong here.
Okay, so how do you feel about her strategy then to have the cards and people have to pick up their card to go to the table, which isn't uncommon.
That's normal, I think.
But then if they don't have one, they have to wait until all of the cards have been picked up to see if...
But I don't know. If you were... Also, she said she gave 3 months. That is plenty of time. And she said you can RSVP online or send it in.
And people followed up.
She gave so many options. So I don't think you should even... I think if they don't RSVP, then they're out. You know, you don't count them. And then I think you just say like, oh, I'm so sorry. We weren't expecting you because we didn't hear from you.
Would you have said that at your wedding?
Yes.
Though, as a peacekeeper?
I probably would have had my husband say it. I probably wouldn't have, or I would have had you say it, but I would not have.
But you would have like taken me into the corner and been like, get them out of here.
Yeah, like they weren't invited.
Okay.
So initially, did you think she was in the wrong?
I feel like I don't know. I feel like I just thought that she cared too much, but now that you told me your perspective, I'm on board. But yeah, I definitely thought, I was like, why does she care this much?
I think we had 2 people. It was like a couple, and they missed the deadline, like to RSVP, but it was because they didn't know if they could get off work in time. But it was family members. So I was like, that is totally fine. Like,
did they let you know that?
They did. Yeah. They were like, we can't give you a yes or a no right now because we don't have our work schedules figured out. And then I think they ended up not even coming. So I think we ended up having 2 extra like place settings anyway.
But that's not a huge deal.
That's fine because they let us know, you know? So I was like, I factored that in. But then I think we had some other people that like didn't RSVP yes or no. So in my mind, I'm like, okay, you're not coming. If you didn't say yes, then I'm not going to count you.
But no one extra showed up, right?
No.
Yeah. I don't think everyone had a seat. So I would assume.
But like our wedding venue wasn't that big. Yeah. So it's not like you could have squeezed even 5 extra people in.
That's true. You really were kind of maxed out with the table situation and all that.
And we only had like 95 people at our wedding.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. That's just my opinion as someone who did this like a year and a half ago.
Yeah, you convinced me. I no longer think she's dramatic. My bad.
Because we also spent so long on the seating chart.
You really did, too.
Because we had a lot of dynamics that we needed to like work around, and then separate sides of the family. And like you want to sit people together that know each other. So we like really thought about that. So I feel like it just messes up the flow if you kind of go around that.
Yeah. No, I'm on board.
Yeah.
Is she the asshole for not letting anyone show up?
No. Especially if they're not invited.
Yeah, especially if they're not invited. Get out of here.
Mm-hmm.
I actually just had some wedding crashers.
Yeah, you're crashing a wedding.
Yeah, that just happened. It was a venue kind of close to downtown, and these 2 women just like stumbled in, grabbed some free wine, drank it, and
they
then
didn't
left.
even know.
I knew.
No, but they didn't know the couple?
Oh, yeah, they didn't know the couple. They walked in off the street. They were like, this is a wedding? Guests were like, yeah. They like went up to the bar, got wine. It was weird.
That's selfish.
I wouldn't do that, but
no.
Yeah. They didn't get kicked out. They just drank their wine and then it was weird. Anyway.
I bet most people don't even know about that, so.
No,
I guess they got away with it.
It was like me and 6 people at that wedding who saw it happen. Yeah.
Gosh.
Anyway. Next story. Am I the asshole for not stopping my little brother from humiliating our dad's husband on their wedding day? I, 19 male, attended my dad's wedding last weekend. He married Kevin, 36 male, the guy he cheated on our mom with. I was 16 when it came out that our dad, 44 male, had been having an affair with Kevin for months. Our mom was blindsided. It was messy and ugly and destroyed our family. My little brother, Sam, 14 male, took it especially hard. He hasn't spoken to our dad unless absolutely necessary, and definitely never accepted Kevin. I've been more neutral, mostly for survival because I still need help with school, rent, etc. Anyway, our dad basically pressured us into being part of the wedding. Sam didn't want to go at all, but our grandparents begged him, so he caved. I should have known something was up when he got real quiet the morning of. So here's what happened. Right before the ceremony, while everyone was getting ready, Sam offered to help Kevin with his tux jacket. Kevin handed it off while checking his phone or something. Sam slipped away for a few minutes, then came back all innocent. What none of us knew was that Sam had taken a little container of itching powder he ordered online and rubbed it into the armpits and collar lining of Kevin's tux. Cut to the ceremony. Kevin starts fidgeting, then scratching. At first it was subtle, but by the time they got to the vows, he looked like he had fleas. He was tugging at his neck, rubbing his underarms, visibly sweating and red. Guests started whispering. Our aunt asked if he was having an allergic reaction. My dad looked confused. Kevin looked miserable. And Sam was sitting there with the blankest expression I've ever seen. Kevin ended up rushing out before the ceremony finished. They had to stop everything for 15 minutes while he changed into a backup suit. The photographer had to scrap a bunch of photos, and of course, people started asking questions. Afterward, my dad pulled me aside and asked if I knew what happened. I said no, because technically I didn't, but I had a pretty good idea. Sam confessed to me later and said he didn't cry, but he'll remember it. That's enough. Now our dad isn't speaking to either of us. Kevin's family is saying we sabotaged their most important day, and my grandparents are saying we both need to apologize. I don't think I will. I didn't plan it, I didn't do it, but I also didn't stop him. So, am I the asshole for just letting it happen?
That is funny.
It's funny. It's good.
I don't think that's that bad because it's subtle. It's diabolical, but it is subtle. You know?
Here's like a broader question. Like, one, obviously he was married to a woman and now he's gay.
Which is just like a big life change for their kids.
Yeah. Big life change for their kids, like losing their home family.
Yeah.
And now they're processing that their dad is gay. I don't know what their upbringing is like, if that's super accepted or not. But
it is weird to bring what's the word?
The affair partner?
I want to say mistress, but that's not the right
the
word.
Mister.
The mister. That is weird for him to come to the wedding. Like, you cheat on the mom and then you bring the partner that you cheated with to the wedding.
No, they got married.
I know, but still, like, I know it's probably been years, but still, like, that's a little weird.
Yeah.
I get it.
I don't remember if it said how long it had been since the affair, but regardless, like, I'm happy for him that he's true to himself.
Mm-hmm.
He did it horribly.
Mm-hmm.
So, like,
I don't
care what your situation is. Cheating is, like, always wrong in my opinion. I think everyone's opinion.
If you have morals.
So, like, if you have any ounce of morals, cheating is wrong.
That's wrong.
That being said, and this might be a rude question, do you think that a couple who got together through an affair deserves to have just this perfectly PG wedding, or is it just that they got pranked?
I don't know. I think at the end of the day, it's a wedding, and I think you don't mess with a wedding.
Yeah.
So, like, from the little brother's perspective, I think that's weird that he chose that day to kind of, like, piss his stepfather, I guess.
Yeah.
To, like, piss him off. Even though it was subtle, it's not like he did anything, like, so deliberate, you know?
Right. It's not like he interrupted the whole thing to call them cheaters.
Or, like,
Yeah.
But still, like, it's your brother's wedding. Maybe just, like, put yourself aside and, like, your own issues and just, like, enjoy the wedding.
There's your peacekeeper coming back out.
Yeah, I know. But you know what I mean. Like, they're excited to get married. Like, just kind of let them have their wedding day and not bring
be the bigger person. Which he is 14, so, like, you're not super in control of your emotions and actions.
No one's the bigger person when they're 14.
No one's ever the bigger person. But
so is the question, is he in the wrong for not
stopping the brother?
But he didn't know about it.
He knew he disappeared and was being mischievous.
Okay, but you have so many other things to focus on your wedding day.
Yeah.
You're not going to babysit your little brother.
I think let's change it from is this brother the asshole to is the one who did the itching powder.
Yeah, I think the younger one is.
Yeah. Because I would have let it go. I maybe would have pranked their honeymoon or something, to be honest.
Yeah, but not the actual wedding.
The ceremony is a little rude. But so is cheating. So I don't know. Honestly, I'm kind of with the prank.
Yeah, I think I am too, because it's not like such an obvious thing, you know?
Yeah. I think if I knew it was itching powder, I would have still let it happen.
Itching powder?
What even is itching powder? I've never heard of this before. I think it's
exactly what it sounds like, but I've never heard of
but I wonder what it's like made of.
Itching powder.
Yeah. Well, there you go. For your next prank, get some itching powder.
Probably get it overnighted on Amazon or something.
Next day delivery.
Yeah.
All right. Ready for our last story for the day? Am I the asshole for giving my brother-in-law the cold shoulder after a wedding prank?
Another wedding prank.
Another wedding prank. My 26 male husband, we'll call him Frank, and I, 26 female, got married in December. It was a small wedding, really only consisting of our closest friends and family, and was a bit of a winter wonderland. Frank's brother, Tom, 18 male, was the best man, as they grew up extremely close, closer than most siblings, I reckon. Tom has always been a bit immature in his humor and jokes, but has always been very moral and accepting of everyone. He's a sweet kid usually, if not a little stupid, in a silly way. He's also a bit anxious because he didn't grow up with many friends. We had explicitly told everyone that we didn't want any pranks or funny business at our wedding, and the actual reception went great. But then we got to the getaway car, and oh, what's that? A giant male anatomy. This is spray painted onto the door. I got super upset and stressed at the time because I get anxious easily and don't really enjoy unanticipated changes and surprises, especially not on a day that's already stressful. Frank basically went around asking who did it, and turns out it was Tom and a few friends who thought it would be funny at the time. Tom got really awkward all of a sudden and kind of disappeared when we weren't looking. Turns out he ran home. Since we didn't get an apology, me and Frank both ignored Tom and most other people while we were on our honeymoon, and when we got back, I continued to give him the silent treatment because he'd actively went against my one ask. Frank was quite miserable about this because he did want us to get along, but he didn't disagree with my decision either. Tom eventually apologized awkwardly, and I've been talking to him again since, but I'm still being fairly cold towards him. I'm not really meaning it most of the time, though I'll be the first to admit I have been snarky or heavily sarcastic on purpose once or twice, but he made me super stressed on an already stressful day. Now, some of his family and my family, just whoever has been seeing me and Tom talking, are saying that I'm blowing it out of proportion and he's just a teenager who did a stupid teenager thing without thinking and I should let it go. Though I also have a few other people saying that I'm right to be angry and him being young doesn't excuse that. So Reddit, am I the asshole?
No, but I think the silent treatment is a little too far.
Like, he's a kid.
He's a kid. Now, if this had happened at our wedding, I would have been really upset because we had a lot of people. We had a lot of, like, the older Christian crowd. And if that had happened to us, I would have been really embarrassed.
Which your car had some silly stuff on it, didn't it?
Yeah, we didn't want anyone to, like, write on our getaway car, and they did.
Yeah, your groomsmen went rogue. I didn't even know about that happening.
So they like kind of wrote some stuff that I was like, ugh, that's in our pictures forever now, but it's not like necessarily inappropriate.
Yeah.
But considering the crowd that was at our wedding, if that had happened, I would have not been like angry. I think I would have been embarrassed.
Yeah, which they probably were embarrassed.
Yeah.
Like, usually anger is a different emotion. It's just, like, extreme, but...
So, like, yeah, you can be mad about that, but I think giving him the silent treatment afterwards is that's a little far.
What if I remind you that Tom is 18?
I mean, yeah.
Yeah. Because they were calling him a kid.
Yeah.
So I forgot he was
I don't
grown.
know.
I feel like that's grown enough.
You're conscious at 18, you know.
But
you're
you
an
are
adult.
immature.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But still, you have a moral compass of right and wrong. And I think most people would just not, like, they would know that's not appropriate for a wedding.
Yeah. I mean, they could have picked so many things and they chose that. It's kind of an FU too, because like, you know, they're going to be upset with that. Like, nobody wants male anatomy drawn on anything.
But I feel like as like the funny little brother, that's kind of like not expected, but like that doesn't surprise me.
True. He probably didn't think they would be that mad about it.
Yeah. But then that's in their wedding photos. And then they had to drive around in that car.
Right. Which is why, like, I think drawing on the car is cute. Like, I love when they put, like, on the window, they'll be like, oh,
just
Mrs.
married,
whoever, and like an arrow that points to.
Yeah.
And like, that's always adorable to me. But what are you going to do with what he drew? It's like, all right, what are you calling them? You know?
Yeah.
I feel like you draw that when someone cheats, like your boyfriend cheats on you,
because it's kind of
college,
like
and that's your
like
get
it's
back.
like an insult.
It is an insult.
So it's not
It's
just
like you guys are.
Yeah. It's not just like a funny, like, ha thing.
Yeah.
But again, probably stupid little brother that always thinks he's funnier than he is.
Yeah. But the question is, am I the asshole for giving my brother-in-law the cold shoulder? Okay. I think they are.
Yeah.
Like, totally be mad about it. But like, in the moment, if it were my wedding, I would play it off in the moment and be like, oh my God, haha, who did this? Get in the car. I'd complain to my husband and be like, bro, what?
Also, the younger brother ran home, walked home.
Okay, so you know, like The Office, how Mose just like takes off
just
Dwight's
like,
cousin Mose.
just like sprints.
That's what I pictured.
How far is this wedding venue from their house if he walked home or ran home?
That's so funny.
I would have also been mad about that. Like,
well, it sounds like he's a little socially awkward anyway. Which makes me feel like he needs to be forgiven more for the drawing, because he didn't grow up around a lot of kids, is what they said.
Didn't have a lot of friends.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I feel like he deserves a little more grace. Like, who knows? Maybe
because at the end of the day, it's not that big of a deal.
No, like if 98% of your wedding went well, and that's the one thing that happened that you're like, oh, like you had a really good wedding day. Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, maybe you're in the wrong for being so intense about it. Like, so intense about your shunning or whatever.
Yeah, some things in life should be let go. And that's one of them, in my opinion.
Yeah.
All right. Any other thoughts before we end the episode?
No.
Awesome. Well, Leah is a barista for a local coffee shop. You want to plug the coffee shop?
Yeah, my husband and I, we actually own a coffee shop called Ardmore Coffee, and it's in a little historical neighborhood.
In Winston-Salem.
North
Carolina.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
It's pretty good. But if you want to follow along with them, the Instagram is...
It's just at Ardmore Coffee.
At Ardmore Coffee. If you're ever in town, check it out. They're amazing. As for me, you can follow the podcast at Click Chick Podcast on Instagram and TikTok. If you would like to follow my photography work, it's 1828 Collective, also on TikTok and Instagram. All right. Well, we will see you guys next week.